We're still back with the breakfast in Plus TV Africa. We'll be looking at the issue of INEC and the fact that the offices of INEC has been under attack in recent times. Now, between February 2019 and May 2021, at least 41 offices of the Electoral Commission, that's INEC, have been under attack across the country by armed non-state actors. Imo State toppled the chart with the most attacks during the period under review. Well, according to the umpire, INEC, most of the attacks on its facilities were orchestrated by hoodlums and unknown gunmen, while some were a result of post-election violence and thuggery during elections. And with about 3 months to the 2023 general elections, suspected hoodlums again raised an office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, that's INEC in Ogun State. According to reports from investigation, it said that these hoodlums, numbering about 8, had scaled the perimeter fence of the building, jumped into the premises, and set the office building on fire. From the back, it was also learned that security guard at the facility made a distress call to the police in the early hour of the day, saying the facility was on fire. But of course, the police from the Ibarra division were said to have mobilized detectives to the scene. Firefighters have also arrived at the scene just to put out the fire. And the statement by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, said that 65,699 uncollected permanent voters' cards, PVCs, were destroyed by these hoodlums. We have Professor Sani Fage, who joins us this morning, this time not from Kano. He's of the Department of Political Science, Bayero University. He joins us from Ondo State. Professor Sani, it's good to have you join us.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'd like to share your thoughts on the recent attack on INEC's office or offices.
Yeah, this wave of attack is something that is going to have negative impact on 2023 elections. For the simple reason that, number one, so many PVCs have been lost, so which means a number of people will be disenfranchised in terms of their right to participate in the election. Secondly, it is going to cost a lot of money. Already, a lot have been spent on preparations, and now is going to set at the hand of the clock backwards. Thirdly, it will add to the mountain of problems and challenges that INEC is facing. Already, there are areas where there is high rate of insecurity, and then also recent we had that about 20 states were affected by flood. Now there is this mountain, attacks. So all this will add to the problem. And more seriously, this will create a sort of psychological fear, both in the official and the electorate. Because once you have such fear, then there is likely going to be a very low voter turnout, because the electorate will be barred, by their own fear from taking part in the process.
So, but this is actually not the first time this is happening. So do you think that this has become part of the electoral process, or maybe when we get, closer to the election year, it's become part of an electioneering process? And do you think that we have been very, very honest in tackling the situation?
Yes, you see, the pattern is such that is giving a clear picture, or a picture of how our politics goes. Sometimes it will be part of the strategy by people or politicians who think they cannot make it. They will now attack areas where they are weak, and they will create such fears. So it's in a way a part of our own problem. And sometimes it is part of the corruption. Deliberately, people will want to destroy evidences and record so that they cannot be traced. Remember what happened in the Second Republic with the ITT office in Lagos. So that is the pattern that when people create arson and, in order to cover up their own trade, and now it's becoming part of our politics, that politicians, especially those who think they cannot make it, try to use fear and intimidation for their own personal interests.
So, Professor Sani, are you saying that we know those who are perpetrating this evil? Because from the reports, per to now, it's been attributed to
I'm not
hoodlums.
saying,
you're saying that
this investigation. What?
No, so I'm asking that if we know those who are perpetrating this evil, because you said that this it might just be politicians who know that they cannot, or they have some areas of the country where they don't have strength, and so this is just a strategy, to ensure that the weaken the entire process.
What I'm saying is part of the old tricks. People use this method. It has been with us for quite some time. And the problem is that usually we don't have proper investigation after it happens. And even if there were investigations, nothing is done to the perpetrators. So that is why people are encouraged to do it. So had it been, the security agencies will go down and investigate the situation, then whoever is found culpable, then he or she can be dealt with. I think we can nip this in the bud. But I'm not saying this is a particular person, but this has been the pattern which, if care is not taken, will keep on recurring, because people feel that they can do it and they escape.
So, but how come we haven't been able to? Because if you have an occurrence or you have an event that has happened over time, then it should be, we should be able to be in control, plan, or think ahead to ensure that we avoid a repetition of the incidents. And so, looking at the time on the review that I had mentioned, from 2019 to about 2020 to 2021, there's been series of attacks. And it feels like we haven't been able to manage or be in control of the situation. Why is that?
Yeah, I think the fault is you can explain it in two dimensions. Number one, like I said, there were no punitive measures, and people have not been seeing, that something is being done to the perpetrators, because there is no proper investigation. And even if they found it, they did the investigation and found certain people, they allowed them to go free. And the other reason for that is that actually there are no serious preventive measures to prevent it from occurring. These two offices that were attacked, let's say last week or earlier this week, from the reports, there are very few security agents to man such sensitive areas. As the election draws nearer, the government should mount serious security prevention in the area so that it wouldn't happen. The whole record said about 8 people. How can 8 people come and empowered if there are serious security agents there? Maybe it is just the guardman and few people around. So that is why these things happen. So what I'm saying basically, so long as we don't mount preventive measures, and so long as if it so happens that we don't take serious measures to investigate and punish who are capable, this thing will continue to occur in Nigerian politics.
So what becomes of, 65,699 uncollected PVCs?
No, I think perhaps these people may not have the chance to participate, because we have barely 90 days or 100 days to the time, and I don't think INEC with the mountain of challenges and issues that is facing, will have the time to reprint these PVCs and issue them again all over for the people. So that is why I say, if you look at it within the context of the politics, this could be a deliberate tactic to disenfranchise certain people. So I think for them, it will take a miracle if they can participate in the 2023 elections.
But INEC has a constitutional, of course, or if you want to say, it has a responsibility to ensure that these persons are not disenfranchised. And if you're talking about time, what does it require for INEC to reprint these PVCs? It's a good thing that you have the data. Data is actually not physical. You can't see that, saved in cloud. So what exactly would be the challenge with INEC not being able, just like you've said, they won't be able to print 65,000 plus PVCs? Why?
Yeah, I think you see, it is not that easy. They may have the data on the people, and they can easily go and print it. But you have to put it in the context that there are other things that INEC has to do between now and the elections. So by the time its attention is diverted to reprinting these issues, and these PVCs, maybe other elements of the preparations will suffer. And it's not just the PVC. There are certain materials that have been destroyed, which are also important for the election. So all these things will require time, will require money, and then will require personnel, which will add up to the challenges of INEC, given the context now that we're in. Because, like I said, it's just about 3 months to the elections, so you cannot go back over the other things. And even if INEC is able to do it, now getting the people to come and collect the PVCs, and now you go and publish the names for challenges and other things. So that is why I think it is going to be a very difficult task for INEC. It is not impossible, but it's going to be a very difficult task. And above all, there's also the problem of bureaucracy. What will take 1 hour or 1 day for a normal, a private sector thing to do, it will take bureaucrats about a month or so. Now, by the time you have this, look at the processes, documentation, passing it to this person, and so. So all the 3 months will have elapsed before INEC sit down and now fully identify what is affected and then address the issue.
So in all of this, what exactly should we be looking at this point in time? What exactly should we be considering looking at the sensitivity, of this election?
To me, I think it is important for these people to get their PVC, but given the challenges, I am very much pessimistic that it will happen. So I think these two places should be an eye-opener to INEC and to our own security agencies, that other areas should be fully secured in order to prevent this thing from occurring, because there is likely going to be copycat somewhere. If what happened here, if care is not taken, some people will copy it and try to replicate it in other places. So I think we should now mount serious security check on other areas. And secondly, I think the security agents should dig down deep into this issue and find out who are capable, and then we take serious action on them as the law provides. So if we are able to do this, I think we can head off future occurrence of such events.
So should the priority be about securing the nation to ensure that the entire facility or everyone is protected, or should it be about securing INEC offices across the country? Where should the priority lie?
No, I think the two are integrated. If the nation is not secured, the elections will not take place. So at the same time, if you don't secure INEC, you cannot have, the election will not take place. So I think that of securing INEC is just subset of the entire nation. So I think the nation as a whole, we should make sure that we secure it, because this action is just one element. Like I said from the beginning, we have security challenges in so many places. Northeast, there is still that Boko Haram. Northwest and North Central, there is this issue of kidnapping. And Southeast, you have the IPOP and ACN. And now there is a growing issue now in Southwest. So I think overall, we need to secure the country. And within that, we also add extra security to INEC because of the time factor, time frame. We just had very few months to the elections. So as we secure the whole nation, we should also increase that security in INEC offices.
Thank you so much, Professor Sani Fage, for being part of the show this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, Professor Sani Fage is of the Department of Political Science, Bayero University, Kano. Is also a political analyst. He joined us from Ondo State. Thank you so much, and that's the size of it. If you missed out on any part of the conversation, it would be great to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel with PlusTvAfrica and PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. My name is Mercy Boko. Thanks for being with us this morning.